Hey guys, and welcome back to this club and country series with SC Europe and Gibraltar. If you haven't seen the first episode, please check it out in the description below. There's a link to it and you'll see how we did in the first 3 seasons with Europe FC. The goal for this video is to have at least 3 seasons in which we play in either the Champions League, Europa League or Conference League. And with that I don't mean the pass to it, but I actually mean the competition itself. The money that we get from the European competitions will really help towards building up Europe FC and in turn also Gibraltar. Other than the money for the club, it also helps us to sign better players, to get a bigger transfer budget and to get more wage budget, so that way we can get the better players in that we need to eventually also make it into the Champions League. Since it's a new season, I needed to make new signings because once again we of course needed to upgrade the team. I've brought in 5 starters and the first starter of them is Rafael Garrido. This guy, brought him in pretty cheaply, 95k, and he's already insane. Look at these physicals, a very nice player to have in your team. The second player is even better, because he's a ton better than the current goalkeeper we have. Christophe Dilo, brought him in for 87k. Might be expensive, but we have the money to burn. We got a transfer budget of 700k at the beginning of the season, so it's worth it. He earns a lot, 1.7k, but he isn't even the biggest earner at the moment. I also brought in a third player who's also very good. In the name of value for money, we have brought in Simão Fernandes. He's on 3k a week, so that's a lot, but we brought him in on a free, and this guy is absolutely an insane boost for our defense. He has everything that you need from a central defender, very good mentals, very good physicals, and he will slot right in as that starting center back. Then on to the last 2 signings. Paul Devawere, I think I pronounced that wrong, but whatever. Very good defensive midfielder, which we're going to play as a right back. As you can see, mentally, physically very good, 1.6k. Brought him in for 75k, so also happy with that amount, and this guy is going to be our starting right back for the next season. Then the last player on the list is Unskill-FM, and I'm very happy to have this guy in. Look at this guy's technicals, he's already very good and physically also very well. Then also if you look at his mentals, he has everything that he needs for an inside forward role. He only misses a bit of composure and work rate, but other than that he has everything to perform well at this level. Brought him in on a free, so he doesn't even cost us any money, but he is on 1.6k a week, which is quite costly, but I think this guy is definitely worth it. What I find interesting is that the players we're bringing in now are really a lot better. If you look at the tactics, right here you see Garrido, Fernandes, Delaware and Dilo all making the starting team. So really we're upgrading a lot. But that also means that of course we are spending more on contracts. So as you can see here, I think when we started we were paying 400k per week and now we're paying 3k per week, 2.3, 1.7, so our wage budget really is going up along the way. One last thing before I start the sim is that the Gibraltar Football League is now 89th in the world, which is already better than the Georgian National League, the Maltesian Premier League, so we're really making steps there as well. What I'll be doing now is I'll be simming forward to the end of Season 4, and after that you'll see how we did in Europe and if we were able to retain the title once again. And I do think we can, but you never know what the FM gods have in store for you. Anyway, see you in a blip. And we're back, the end of Season 4. And as you can see, in the Football League we have come in second. And that's only due to Lincoln having a lot of luck. As you can see here, 2-1 victory, 2-1 victory, 3-2. Right here, 3-2. They just barely lost to us, 1-2. But they just had a lot of luck with all of these victories, which was a pretty shame to see. However, we did win the Rock Cup, so the International Cup of Gibraltar, we won that very nicely. And the Pepe Reyes Cup, we also lost to Lincoln once again, basically the Super Cup of Gibraltar. But, there's one thing, we went into the UEFA Champions League, and let me show you how we did in there. So as you can see here, we first beat, I think this was an Armenian side, yeah they are. We first beat them 9-0, then we had to play Slovan Bratislava, which was actually interesting. We did do very well in the home game, in the away game a bit less, but on aggregate we still went through. Then the same thing happens to Hajduk, which we actually beat 1-5 away, which was a really interesting result because they're usually really a big team. in the UEFA Champions League. Then we beat Prague as well, a very big team as well, 3-1, which made us play in the Champions League. And look at these teams we were playing. Olympique Lyon, Liverpool, Porto, Leipzig, and even beating Leipzig at their own stadium 1-2, which was absolutely insane. And just imagine, you know, Liverpool, a big team in the Champions League, having to come to our Victoria Stadium with 2,000 people only in it. That was just amazing to see. We didn't do well in Champions League as I expected, but anyway, we did play in it and it gave us a lot of money. And as you can see right here in the finances, we now have 16 million and a 10 million transfer budget with insane wages to spend, 57k, that's almost double as what we're spending now. So the board really expects us to be able to build on the success that we've got the last seasons. So let's see what we can do with all the transfer budget that we've gotten for this incoming season. Since the money from the Champions League already came in January, we already asked for more transfer budget and I got it, so I already made some signings in January. So let me just quickly show you who those signings were. I got 4 million to spend and I didn't even spend all of it because I couldn't bring anyone in who was actually better for our team and that we needed to pay a lot for. So all of these players came on a free or on a very cheap free. As you can see, the players are very good already that we're bringing in. Mainly youngsters, 25 years or younger, some quote-unquote wonder kids in the game, and they're looking very good as well. If you look at their physical and mental ability, technically they're not the best yet, but that will come if we just move through the ranks of the European competitions. So as you can see, like, we're making progress, we're getting better players in, and I hope in the coming transfer window we can get even better players in. So this is what the team is looking like right now, but I'm going to make a few changes, so I'm going to see if I can get more players in. So that might mean that the players we brought in January are actually already going to leave again, but we'll see how that happens. Anyway, 10 million I have to spend, so I'm going to be spending it, and I'll be back in a blip to show you what kind of savings we made to go into season 5. But these are the players that we brought before the 5th season and also in January, and as you can see, most of them are just very good players already. Baptiste Roux was a starter for us. Let me show you Gabriel as well. This guy was absolutely insane for us as well. Brazilian, the first Brazilian I think ever in our team, looking very good. And also bringing in, of course, Julian Rijkhoff, a Dutch, I want to say wonderkid, but I don't think he's a wonderkid just yet. And why did I make all of those signings? Because we had to sell 2 of our youngsters. Robert Cabanillas and Rafael Garrido, they both left us for Paris FC and Braga respectively. They wanted to leave, I couldn't really keep them. They had a contract for another year, so I needed to sell them on. Anyway, let me just quickly show you how we did in the 5th season with all of these extra signings. So this year we were able to get the title once again, but it was still a very rough patch because for some reason Lincoln also keep winning. They also have a very good team, and if we go ahead and check the league as well, you see that we have a lot of very bad teams and then 3 or 4 good teams with Magpies, St. Joseph's, Lincoln and us. But we did eventually manage to claim the title. Then in the Conference League, we didn't do too bad. If we go to schedule, you can see here we won a couple of games in the league phase. Then we knocked out Apoel and eventually got up against Juventus, where we lost 0-2 at home, but we won 3-2 away. So it wasn't even that bad of a try. And then as for a Rock Cup, we did win it once again, making us consecutive victories in the Rock Cup. One thing I still wanted to show you is look how good we are doing. Julian Rijkhoff scored 30 goals this season, with Jesus Carmona also scoring 18, so really hoping that Rijkhoff can stay. I think I already gave him a new contract to 2030. We can however still only give minor contracts for not so long to players, which is kind of a shame, but that is how it is. With this team that we currently have, we're going to move into the next season, but of course I'm going to make upgrades once again. So I will see you just before we start the new season to show you how the team is looking to go into the 6th season with Europe FC. But before I would jump into that, let me just quickly show you how our junior coaching and youth recruitment is looking, because they're both exceptional, which is absolutely fantastic. Our training facilities are currently great, but I've been trying to upgrade them all along. And then there's also something else I wanted to show you. and that is our social media following. It's currently 27.8k, and when we started it was 5k, so very well. However, our season ticket holders still isn't really going up a lot, so we do need to find a way to get more supporters in. Of course, Gibraltar is a very small country, so I don't think a lot of people are going to come, but if we can reach another European competition and hopefully the Champions League, then we might be able to start building a new stadium just for us, because how it's currently going is that every team in Gibraltar plays in the same stadium, and the stadium is the Victoria Stadium. So as you can see here, every single team plays in there. So what we kind of want to do is we want to start building a new stadium, but of course that's very hard since there's only 33,000 Gibraltarians in the world. Anyway, I'm gonna make some signings. 10 million to spend. We're never gonna spend all of that, but maybe we can spend all of the wage budget. You will see me in a blip with the final team for season 6. To make progress in Europe, we really needed to spend, and that's what we did. We had 10 million. I spent 4 of it, and let me just show you quickly who we brought in. Vicente Agrasola, a very good wonderkid striker, as you can see, insanely good. The physicals already, mentally could still improve. Jose Antonio Soriano, a centre back with insane physicals. Miguel Alves, who is going to be playing as a left or right back for us, also a rotational player. And then I brought in a new goalkeeper, Mio Backhaus, spent 1.1 million on this guy, and very happy to have him in. He's already a big improvement over our previous goalkeeper. And of course Mamadou Fofana, who we brought in. He's pretty cheap, he's pretty good, very versatile. As you can see, 15s in all stats, so we're really getting in a lot of good players now. But it's also costing us, of course, since we already spent 4 million of the transfer budget that we've got. We also already have a couple of signings who are in the 28-29 season, and most importantly is that Jesus Carmona left our club. He had a release clause, so he left to Tenerife for like 40k. Absolutely insane, but we can't really do anything against it. It's because the reputation of our league is so low. Anyway, against that we brought in 4 more players. Joan Trinques, a backup striker or maybe even a starter, a very good player for 300k. Then on the free we brought in Gadi, who's going to be our new right back, Trilly, who's going to be our new left back, and as you can see, this guy is insanely well rounded and he's one of the best players in our team. And last but not least, Matthias de Wolf, who we brought in, and as you can see, these players are really getting up there, so we can really do hopefully well in Europe this season. Of the signings that we made, 6 already made the first team, which is very good to see. It means that we're upgrading all around. What happens now is I'll be swimming forward to see if Europe FC can reach European competitions for the 4th year in a row. See you in a blip. And we're back, and we've won the Gibraltar Football League once again. 2nd year in a row, and I can 100% almost say now that we're going to win it every year from now on, because we've been so dominant and we are really going to make sure that we keep this dominant streak going. Then other than that, we have reached the Champions League, the Ray Cup we won and the Rock Cup we won. So Rock Cup, 3rd year in a row, very good, and I think the Reyes Club is actually the first time that we win it in this series. Then let's take a look at how we did in the Champions League. As you can see, we made it to the league path and then we didn't proceed any further. We did win 3 games and we barely didn't make it out of the group, but unfortunately it wasn't meant to be. However, all the money that we've got from playing in the Champions League once again, which is about 25 million, really helps it, so we can continue our dominance in Gibraltar and keep building Europa FC up, and also of course keep investing in the team to buy better players every year again. For the first year ever, we also got a good youth product in with Noah Reed. His potential isn't too good and he's light-hearted, but as you can see, already 6 in acceleration and 16 pace means that this guy does have some potential, and not just only for our team but also for the Gibraltar national team. So I'm very happy to have this guy in, and I hope he can have a really good future in Gibraltar. Other than that, let's take a look at our finances. We currently have 10 million in the bank and we have a transfer budget of 9 million. Of course, I'm not spending all of that, but we are going to aim to reach the Champions League once again, because that means a guaranteed 16 million. Other than that, I also have something else to show you, And that is our facilities. As you can see, training facilities superb, youth facilities basic, we are getting up there and we are building them up as we speak, and junior coaching and youth recruitment already exceptional, which is absolutely insane for the youth products that we might get in later in this series. Investing this much into the junior coaching, youth recruitment and youth facilities means that we get a lot of better players in, which we can eventually also use for the Gibraltar national team. What's interesting to see is that the Gibraltarian Football League, due to us being so good in Europe, has gone up from 115th 6 years ago to now 66th in 2028, and that doesn't even count this season where we played in the Champions League. That all means that eventually we'll get more direct places for European football, which means that our reputation goes even higher and more money gets into the league and also to all the Gibraltarian teams, and they can invest that once again in their facilities to bring in better youth. The goal for this episode has been reached, which was reach the European competitions 3 years in a row. You can now say that Europe FC is a well-established European football club now. Anyway, for the next episodes we're going to need more goals, so please leave them down in the comments and I'll see if I can use any of them in future episodes. Before I end the episode, let's firstly take a look at how the Gibraltar national team is doing. Of course, in 2023 we were 202nd and currently we're 169th, which is very good. And just to show you what kind of players we are already getting through, Josh Palmer is an insanely good wonderkid, which I've tried to sign many times, but he doesn't want to leave because of the rivalry between Lincoln and Europe FC. But this is the kind of players that we want to get into the team and to make Gibraltar a better footballing nation. If we also go to the schedule, you'll see that we are still losing against, for example, Croatia, but we are drawing Belarus here, we are beating the Faroe Islands, we are tying Armenia and even winning against Armenia and Kazakhstan there, so we're doing very well and we are definitely improving a lot. However, there's still a lot of work to be done, and that work we'll be doing in the next episodes. If you do like these series, please don't forget to leave a like down below and subscribe for more, and let's go ahead and make Gibraltar the best footballing nation in the world. Follow the series to find out if we actually succeed. Thanks for watching, hope you've enjoyed, and see you in the next one.